Hello, thank you for watching CVC Interviews. I'm your host, Nick Levine, and today we'll be talking with Gene and Dale Roberts of Great Harvest Bread. Hi, Gene.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Dale. Now, let's just start back from the beginning in case nobody has ever heard of you guys before. When did you start doing Great Harvest Bread?
2003.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we purchased it from a couple that had had it since 1996, and so it was in downtown Manchester at that time.
Was it called Great Harvest Bread even then?
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was, and it's a unique kind of it is a franchise.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people don't realize that. But it's what's called a freedom franchise, which means we're allowed to run it the way we see fit for the local area, and we can tailor it to the clientele that we may have. And if a different bakery in a different locale, we'll run it a different way. However, we're still under the same umbrella, and we still have the same support.
Okay, so the only things that they are basically firm on is probably the logo and maybe colors?
Absolutely, absolutely. Logo, colors, and the only thing we really have to purchase from the franchise is the wheat berries, the actual product that makes the wheat flour itself, because we mill the wheat in the store.
So those little things on a wheat thing, it like shows like a bunch of little balls on the side of a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
fluff. Those are called berries?
Those are
Yes.
called berries.
Ah, I would have thought they were called seeds.
Yeah, you would.
Always.
You
So
would, yeah.
That's interesting.
And we mill every day. We mill about 250 pounds of flour a day.
So you literally just, you get a big bag of the little ballies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you don't even start from like a powder or something?
Right.
No,
We make
no.
the powder.
We make it.
We
yeah.
make the flour. Yes.
Okay.
But what's nice is it's so fresh that we don't remove anything. Whereas your normal, typical white flour off of the store shelf, they remove everything and then put it back together again, but it never has the same potency of nutrition that ours would have.
So they really break it down
Yes.
when they do it?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And ours is 100% whole wheat.
Wow. Now, who was the one who wanted to get into baking? Was somebody here like, okay, so you just what were you doing with baking related
I was always the
things?
baker in the family.
Oh, okay.
Holidays, cookies, cakes, pies, just always making anything I can.
Okay. What job did you have before 2003?
I worked at Mass Mutual. I was
Doing
in charge of
insurance?
telephone operators, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess one day you were just like, forget it. I want to do.
Well, I was laid off,
Oh, okay.
so in 2001. So Dale and I were talking, and he says, what do you want to do? Because this might be your last job before you retire.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a baker.
Oh.
So I pursued it, went to MCC for a little more training. We were actually customers at Great Harvest. And it's like, that's what we wanted to do.
Oh, so you kind of like had an understanding, but you
Yeah.
didn't know that she was or he was looking to sell out.
Right.
No.
We went through the application process. Then we decided we wanted to put it on hold because our daughter was going to be a senior in high school.
Okay.
So we said, let's hold off a little while. We'll continue with the application. We'll keep going. And then they gave us a call and said, the Manchester store is for sale. If you're interested,
Wow.
and we were fortunate enough to get it.
Now with MCC, was that like a going back to school, or was that like they actually have? You can just take baking.
They have a
classes?
culinary program,
Yeah.
a very good culinary program.
But didn't that cover everything?
Everything.
So
So
you got
I-
the full.
Well, no, I only did the baking part.
Oh, okay. So they do have like what would you call that? Like an area of focus.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
didn't know that about that.
Yeah.
I always thought that if you went to MCC and into their culinary program, I thought that it was like when you go to any culinary program, I thought you had to take the whole thing,
Yeah, no. you could-
starting from like, I don't know, French down to, you know. Okay, so good. You were able to fast track it a little bit
Yes,
by
yes.
you know, getting rid of like cooking
Focusing
lobster
on what I
and stuff.
want, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Bypass that.
Now, Upon purchasing the business, what was some of the first things you did? Did you like gut it?
No.
No,
We,
actually.
no. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, we analyzed it very closely and decided that we had to keep it pretty much the same. For clientele reasons, what was being produced in the store was very familiar to the community. We worked with the previous owners for a good month after the actual sale.
That's nice.
They were
That's
nice.
different.
Yeah, they were really great at
Yeah.
the turnover, and they really cared about what was going on. They really, in a lot of ways, probably didn't want to sell it, but life takes you in different directions, and that direction for them, unfortunately, meant that they had to go on to different things. At that point, we said, let's keep going with what we have, and really didn't change anything. And if we were going to change anything, it was going to be a gradual metamorphosis to something that we thought we wanted to have.
Oh, all right. So now, when you started up, did you join up with any local groups in order to get the word out? Like, did you join the Chamber of Commerce, I
We
think,
did.
for that area?
Yes, yes. We mainly tried to stay with the same focal groups that the previous owners, and then just try to expand a little bit from there. They had a very good following.
Okay.
So it was a nice, smooth transition.
Nice. So what are some of the differences, let's say, from 2003 when you kind of picked it up versus how the business and everything kind of runs, what is it, 14 years later? Like, how has Great Harvest really changed, like, email versus paper, like what was the difference? Like,
Oh, yeah.
if we were to go back in time, how different would it really be?
Yeah, no website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, everything was, the basics then. And of course, as the franchise grew and the communications network for tying us all together, we have what's called a breadboard, which we can communicate to any other bakery and ask questions. How are you doing this, maybe? Or they may ask us, hey, we heard you're baking this. Can you help us out because we're having a problem with it? So, there's a good organization of help and ideas that are passed
It's a
around.
great family.
So you can literally, I mean, they give you what you not necessarily should, but what they have for you to bake, a bunch of bread-related or maybe cookie-related items, but you're saying that other people have just made up items.
What's nice about Great Harvest is they call it a freedom franchise.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to choose their recipes or do your own.
Huh.
You could tweak it a little bit to how you like to do things.
Wow.
That's what people will customize it to their area or to what we make here in the Northeast might be different than in Arizona.
Huh.
So you can kind of get a feel for other
Yeah.
areas. What do you do with this bread? Do you change things up? And even just what to make with breads.
Wow.
Not just a plain sandwich. What else do you do with it? Cut it up and use it as a fill for meatloaf. We heard white cheddar garlic, actually jalapeno cheddar garlic,
Yeah.
is great as a fill with meatloaf instead of just plain breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
That
you
would be
get some
good.
ideas from a lot of the other owners.
Huh. That's interesting. Now, when you do come up with something, I don't know if you have come up with your own things, you then are encouraged to put them up on the breadboard?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's for everyone to see. And then also when you're there, when you post it, then they'll they'll test it out for nutritional information and get all that so that
So it's legal.
yes, but that
Exactly.
every bakery doesn't have to spin their own wheels. It's there
Oh.
for everyone.
Okay. Yeah. They don't. Not everybody's got to start from scratch on
Right,
this new
right,
item. Okay.
right.
Well, that's good. Now, when Great Harvest started, well, when you guys started, Was it just bread, or was there always bread, cookies, muffins?
There
Other
was
things?
not as much. We've expanded quite a bit.
Wow.
They used to do some muffins, scones, cookies, the basics. We're doing a little more now, more bars, more fruit bars. We're doing some brioche.
Wow. So they okay. So they've really added to it. Do they got soups?
In the fall we do. We start probably about October through March, and we'll do soup and sandwiches.
Oh, nice.
Which
And
is
we're
another,
approaching that. So
which is another advancement that we did. We started the sandwich line, and we have cold sandwiches right now, but we'll be working into a hot sandwich and also a breakfast sandwich in the near future.
cool. Yeah. So it's always ever building. So that
Ever
way,
building.
there's always some new item. That's great. Well, when we return, we're gonna really talk about let's say the destruction of the original and then the rebirth of the new one. All that will be talked about when we return here on CVC Interviews.
Great Harvest Bread Company in Vernon is a proud sponsor of CVC. Great Harvest strives for excellence in all aspects of production. Our bread is made from scratch, starting with milling our own flour. Everything is made by the hands of talented bread makers. We have many different kinds of breads to choose from. We also make our very own sandwiches, scones, cookies, and an array of other seasonal goodies. We also have a wide variety of coffees. Great Harvest Bread Company is located at 425 Talcottville Road in Vernon.
Here at Community Voice Channel in Bolton, we're always interested in what you have to say. Have an idea for a show you want to see on TV? We'll help you become a studio producer and learn the basics of camera work in our studio workshop and field workshop. From your own talk show to interview show to whatever you want to do, we're always interested in your ideas and will help you see them happen. Community Voice Channel, a place for your voice.
Welcome back to CVC Interviews. We are talking with Dale and Jean Roberts of Great Harvest Bread, and now they are located in Vernon. So let's talk about that relocation. What year did, well, in case nobody knows, a fire broke out under the bakery. What year was that?
2013.
2013.
2013.
October 12th, 2013.
Oh, you've really got that date down.
Yeah.
Now, take us through that. What happened?
In the basement area, there was an electrical connection that either deteriorated or maybe a mouse got it. We don't know, but it was embedded behind a wall. And of course, the construction of the older building in 1908 was such that anything that went up in flames
Was going to keep going.
was going to keep going. They thought they had it under control in the first half hour, but they lost it very quickly. And once that was done, it was just a matter of keeping the other buildings alongside from burning down.
Now, a lot of people don't know that flour is exceedingly flammable. When you guys built the new place in Vernon, what do you guys do to protect that location? Like when you're milling it.
Yeah, well, flour dust can be extremely flammable, and in a room that you do the milling in, we create what's called a negative pressure. So there's the suction is from outside into the room and then out a roof vent. So if anything were to happen, it would be contained and up it would go out that way. But it's a very safe process.
Wow.
There's probably only been one related fire than in all the history of Great Harvest.
Great.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that it's safe.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Now,
it is.
but when you guys were trying to restart, what led you to Vernon, and how smoothly did that process go?
Well, it was a long haul. It took 20 months from the time the
Wow.
fire took place to the time we opened doors in Vernon. Not only you got to deal with insurance claims, that took 12 months, and
Wow.
then
Yeah.
during that process, you're looking for. Well, first you're trying to decide, do we want to do this again?
Yep.
And then once that decision's
Yeah.
made, and that was pretty easy, then you got to find equipment. You got to put feelers out for where can we go? Is there a place in locally that we could go? And we started looking close. And then at some point we kept
Kept
the
increasing
perimeter
that,
kept
yeah.
increasing
Yeah.
and increasing because we just could not find either the right square footage or the building was too big. They wouldn't subdivide. Their costs for, electrical changes, AC, it just wasn't feasible for them. So at one point, it came down to the realtor saying, well, would you be willing to go as far out as Route 83 in Vernon? I know a place. And we said, it looks that way. So that's what we did. And we were fortunate enough to have the president of the company come out and actually do the site survey.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's very good at what he does. And it was great to have that knowledge helping us do what we wanted to do.
Yeah, that's a good help.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys, they know their stuff. They know what the traffic pattern should be. Everything's analyzed, and this Vernon location really punched up to be a good place to go.
Now, quickly, let's just speak about why square footage is kind of an issue. People might not realize how ginormous your oven is. Can you just talk a little bit about what kind of an oven, because it's not something anybody's really seen.
No,
Yeah.
not really. It's a rotating shelf oven. There is 6 shelves.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 8 shelves that rotate. But each shelf holds 6 baking pans.
Wow.
And so if we put 5 breads on one baking pan, each shelf has 30 loaves times 8.
Times 8.
So production can, move along pretty swiftly to produce what we need to produce.
Oh, yeah.
So an oven this size is probably about 12 feet wide, goes to the ceiling, and goes back. So you can imagine a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Inside,
Contained.
inside, yeah. And you're talking 500,000 BTUs of energy being used to heat that envelope.
If that was in terms of using those BTUs as a freezer, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
If
Really.
you think about it like your air conditioner, that's 5,000.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You really understand.
And this oven is bigger than the one we had on Main Street.
That one was,
That was a 36-pan oven. This is a 48.
wow. Well, so you were able to increase the quantities of what you make.
Yes.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what you guys make. Right over here, we have some circular loaves of bread, a elongated bread, and what more people know, the standard loaf.
Right.
So let's start with the circle guys. What do we got here?
The center one is our basic honey whole wheat.
Okay.
The other round one in the back is called Woodstock. That is our base of our honey whole wheat. Then we add sunflower, sesame, poppy, millet, and flaxseed.
Are both of these two guys some of your top sellers?
Yes, those are 100% whole wheat. And then also the one in the front
Yep.
is our honey whole wheat, but in a sliced form.
Okay. And then this guy's just a
Our
standard
country white.
Country white. Okay, so that's your what you would call your standard white, but not like Wonder Bread,
No,
which doesn't even
no.
rot.
Right, right, right.
I like to use the term if anybody's ever tasted the bread that your great aunt made in
Yeah,
the kitchen,
from
this is it.
Yeah,
It's
There
just
you
like
go.
you made it at home.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, why are these guys like circles? Is that I've never, until I actually walked into Great Harvest, I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
Is that normal anywhere else? Like,
Bowls
is
of
that-
bread like that.
Bowls of bread.
Yes, are, this is your artisan look. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and it's the process when you knead it. It's rolled into a ball basically, and then when it's set on the pan. Of course, the process of it settling out and rising. This is the product and the shape that you get.
Okay.
And of course, we can decorate the top. So we'll use a very fine serrated knife, and we can put designs in. And
Nice.
some of them can be rather ornate, or depending on the person's artwork.
Do people also make sandwiches out of these?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes.
It actually will stay fresher when it is whole.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we suggest to cut kind of in a herringbone style, so that you're getting equal slices, and it stays
Oh,
fresher
yeah,
longer.
Okay. That's good. So this is for somebody who's gonna make some sandwiches
Yes.
pretty soon and
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
eat them pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that just going in. Now this is something that I've never actually seen you guys.
That's a baguette.
have.
Yeah.
That's a baguette. We just started making those recently. We talked about the big oven.
Yeah.
With the new location and the equipment that we purchased out of Delaware, came a steam oven. And now this oven, unlike a shelf oven, is a rack oven, and you roll the whole rack in, and as the process, and it revolves like a rotisserie.
Okay.
And by doing that, there's also a water feed in, and we can inject steam into that oven. And the steam condenses on the cool bread. When you first put the bread in, it
Yeah.
condenses on the top. It liquefies the surface, and as the heat works at it, it becomes crusty, and that's your hard crust that's developed. Now, the longer you bake it, the harder, the thicker that crust will become.
Huh. You never would have thought that adding water to something would make it harder.
Harder.
Yeah,
That's very much the opposite of what you'd expect.
Yeah.
You'd
Right.
think that would
Yeah.
give you a really fluffy bread,
Yeah.
but instead it gives
Yeah.
you the hardest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen that rotating oven. Do you have to always have steam in it? Because I thought that
No.
that's how you make like muffins.
Right.
Exactly. That's the appeal to that oven is it's universal. You can not use the steam and bake cookies and scones, and so we can actually have two things going at once, and we do. Our production involves bread in the one oven and sweets in the other.
That's awesome.
And then at some point we'll switch over the baguette or the Italian or the brioche will be ready to go into that oven, and then we'll set up the steam cycle.
And we do sourdoughs, so those also use a steam.
Wow. Okay. Now let's end on these sweets, just like you do in real life. Now what we have here is trail mix. I guess trail mix.
Yes.
I'm not the
Yes.
best with
Yep.
knowing
Trail
what
mix
that is.
and granola.
Granola. Okay. Now that along with the muffins, do you prepare this, or how do
We
these
make
guys
all
show
of
up?
that completely from scratch.
Really?
Yeah, we assemble all those ingredients. The granola is really oats, honey, and almonds, but you can also use raisins. We add
Yeah.
raisins. You can make it whatever recipe you
Are there
want.
cranberries in there?
There's cranberries.
There's cranberries.
Yes.
Very neat.
So the granola really, and people love it because they can not only eat it dry, but they can also use it for cereal in the morning.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you can make power bars and everything.
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, cool. Now, let's just finish on something that's a little bit interesting. You have this, which is this what Seinfeld was always talking about, the muffin tops, or
Actually,
like...
those are our scones, but they look like muffin tops. They're moist. We use butter and cream cheese, so they are very moist.
So how you make something moist is not water, it's butter and cream cheese.
Oh yeah,
Make
the
it
good
rich.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
And half, not
Yeah.
skim milk.
So something that really fattens it.
Yes.
Yeah, and a traditional scone, British scone, would be it can be dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, British food, you know.
tea, it's tea,
Yes.
tea and crumpets. But,
Yes.
Yeah.
But ours are very
but our
moist.
scones are different.
So what are we possibly seeing in the future? I mean, now we got baguettes. Do you know of anything on the horizon that you're allowed to say? Maybe you're not allowed to say it.
Sure. Oh yeah. We're working on hot sandwiches.
Yep.
And also recipes. We started chimichurri, a chimichurri sauce. That is, it's a Brazilian, it's a South American.
I think I heard that one.
Flavoring made out, the spice, and it's added to. You can use it with roast beef, but I've found it's good on anything.
So now you're going into sauces then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All right.
It's a nice added touch, and also we can sell it in bulk.
Yeah.
As well with our butters and.
Like we make our Italian bread, but we also sell the spread to make garlic bread.
Hey, there you go. Everybody loves garlic bread.
Absolutely.
All right. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys.
Yeah.
I wish you more luck in the future and no more bad luck.
Yes.
Thank you for watching CVC Interviews. Today with us was Dale and Jean Roberts of Great Harvest Bread, and I am your host, Nick Levine.